Hello. Hey, girl.
Okay.
Trying to see how to accept people as they hop on. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes as I'm adding participants as they pop up. So I'm just
Perfect. Yeah, I know I have a few that are probably just now clicking the link. I almost forgot to register. I was like, wait, I gotta get the link.
uh, this is new to me. I've never run it where you have to accept people on before. So
Yeah, it's super high tech.
I know, and I'm
I
like,
like
I'm
it.
guessing people are gonna hop on as I'm talking. So I'm gonna have to be like,
Maybe. You'll do great.
dun, dun, dun. Hey, girl. Hey. Yay, this is awesome. I'm so happy I can see everybody. I wasn't sure if it was going to be just my face. Hello, everybody. Welcome on. Hey, Elizabeth.
Can you see me?
No.
Um,
Yes. Oh, is that Demi asking?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see you now. Hey, girl. So glad you're on.
I know I'm about to start Bachelor with the girls, so I'm gonna hop on until they start it. They're ordering food now.
Girl, that is dedication. Checking out this webinar on Bachelor Monday. Oh, well,
Right.
rewatch.
Well, we're watching yesterday's episode.
Oh, okay. I got you.
There you go. Hit the button.
I'm
This is
just
so
going to give this
cool.
like 2 more minutes to see who else hops on, and then I will get started.
Cool.
If you guys wouldn't mind as you hop on to just mute yourself, it'd be awesome. Give it one more minute. Put it in speaker view. Hmm. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started and kick us off. And as people hop on, they can just partake. But I'm so excited that you are here with us tonight for this business opportunity call. I'm so excited to share with you. And it feels really synchronistic because this actually happens to be the week that it's 6-year anniversary since I became a coach. So it's pretty crazy. But if you don't know me, my name is Dana Fotiades. I have been a coach for 6 years now. And before I dive in, I just really want to share a little bit of my backstory and how I came into coaching, because the reasons why people join coaching are so different and our team is so diverse, and what it can do for your life is really up to what you make it out to be. And I just really want to give a backstory of kind of what I went through and how I ended up here and how this became a platform to really serve a greater mission and a greater purpose in my own life because of the things that I had been through. So when I was young, I lost my dad to heart disease and health complications when I was 13. And after that happened in my life, I quickly developed an eating disorder and anxiety and depression from a young age of about 13. Fast forward to my teen years. When I was 16, I was in a horrific boating accident that actually removed the top third of my pelvis. And I am, by the grace of God, alive today, survived that accident. But in the next, 10 years of my life, I went through brutal surgery after surgery, learning how to walk over and over again, lived on tons of medication, had PTSD. And by my early 20s, I was really kind of lost in life. And I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but the life path that I saw for myself was forever changed when that happened to me. And unlike most people in high school and in college years, you know, kind of living it up and thinking what they want to do with their lives, um, I was really learning how to recover from going through something so tragic. And so by my early 20s, sorry if you see me looking sideways, I'm adding people to the call. By my early 20s, like I said, I had really kind of lost my ability to dream, and I didn't have a whole lot of self-confidence. And I started making some not really so great decisions and spending time around people that were not invested in helping me become better or helping me grow. And by the time I was in my mid 20s, I surprisingly found out that I was pregnant. And by the time that my son was 5 months old, I made a really tough decision to leave abuse and raise him on my own. And I had no game plan. I had no idea what I was going to do. Um, but 6 months into being a single mom, I started getting a message from my coach, who was a dear friend of mine. We played field hockey together in high school, and she started, you know, talking to me about Shakeology and talking to me about home fitness programs. And at that point in my journey, I said no for about almost 4 months before I actually said yes. So maybe someone can relate to that if you were just kind of on the fence or not too sure of what you're getting into, or you just weren't ready. That was me. But every single time she reached out, and I thought, she really cares. Like, she's actually connecting and reaching out to me over and over. Like, maybe I should check out what this is all about. And at that point in my life, I was really at a crossroads of if I should put my baby in full-time daycare, go back to finish my last year of college. What would I do? Because the only thing I had ever done was waitressing and working in restaurant industry or retail, really. Um, I was doing this 100% on my own as a single parent, and I knew in my gut that if I was going to change our life, that it needed to begin with myself. And so I thought, why not dive into something that would help me, you know, rebuild my confidence, rebuild my self-worth, dive into a fitness program, learn, you know, proper nutrition, because at that point in time I was living off frozen meals and eating out and large iced coffees. And I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but I definitely was not the example of what healthy was. And I wanted to change that, because now I had realized I'm an example for a little human, and it's just me. And I don't want to live in survival mode. Like, I knew I was going to be doing this alone, and I wanted to figure out how to live my life in a more empowered way. So when I said yes to my coach, it was mainly because I knew I needed accountability and I needed some kind of structure where I could get healthy and fit from home, and I didn't have guesswork. I couldn't get to a gym. I didn't know what to eat. And I really, more than anything, I needed the support and accountability of a positive community that was helping me lift out of that really dark space in my life. And that's exactly what I found. And within a couple days of starting, my coach asked me to hop on a call with her coach, Liz, who's actually on here. And I always say when I recap this part of my story is that I have no idea what she said to me on this call. It was a business opportunity just like you're on tonight. I have no idea what she said to me that night, but I remember exactly how it made me feel. And it was the first time since becoming a single parent, and really the first time in 2 decades of my life, that I kind of felt like perhaps the things that I had gone through could be used for something better, that they weren't just things I should be ashamed of from my past, or they weren't things that had to drag me back forever, but it was something where if I could change my life and I could transform who I was, and I could become a happy, healthy, more positive, empowered version of myself, that I could then teach other people how to do that. And it like it gives me chills when I say that, because I had never seen myself as, I always loved helping people. Like, I always had a big heart, but I had never thought about my pain and my mess and my story becoming something that could be a really empowering and inspiring message to give other people hope of how they could move through hard things in their life, or make changes, because change isn't always easy, right? Like, change can be really hard. But this gives you the tools and the support system and the community to just help you rise to new levels in your life. And I just fell in love with thinking, if I can transform myself, then I can teach other people how to do the same thing. And that was it for me. At the end of that call, I hopped in a new coach training and I literally never looked back. It's been 6 years. I have been able to build a full-time business from home. No income or success is guaranteed in this business. It is all up to your dedication and skill. But I have built a business that has earned multiple six figures. And more importantly, I did exactly what I wanted to do when I started, and I was able to build an entirely different future for myself and my son. I wanted to be home with him when he was a baby, and that was what I was able to do those first couple years until he started school. And even more so in the last few years, it's just opened the door to so many opportunities that I never would have had in my life if it weren't for this opportunity. Like, you're getting a tiny little glimpse of what's possible when you get in the door of coaching and you start to hear other people's success stories. It's just mind-blowing what's possible with this opportunity. And I just want to make sure you guys understand that we are a part of a team that is incredibly diverse. We have people from all walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different career paths, all different personalities. And I love that diversity because it really shows you that you can come into this no matter who you are, where you're at, and you can build something beautiful for your life if you see that vision. And so before I kind of dive into what coaching is all about, what we do, how we earn income, and all that good stuff that you're here to learn, I want to ask you guys something that I was prompted to think about when I was a new coach, because it was something that I had really never thought about until I stepped into this coaching world. And that is, do you have a vision for your life, and where do you see yourself a year from now or 5 years from now? Because when I was asked that very early on, I was like, I don't know. I've never really thought about that. Like, I just kind of thought you go to college, get a job, you settle down, you have a family. You know, that was how I was raised. And I had never been prompted to think outside the box and think that I could take ownership and I was in charge of the direction that my life went. So I want you to think about that tonight as we go through these things and start getting your mind going about what this opportunity could really do for your life, for your family, just for yourself in your own personal journey, and how different your life could be a year from now or 5 years from now if you started today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is, I already talked about our team being diverse. So I just want to share, like I said, I mentioned this before, but how this opportunity is really what you make it. Everybody shares a little differently. Everyone has different stories. You have different passions and things that you're interested in. Maybe like me, you're really interested in nutrition and meal prepping. I want to just preface that this isn't like something where you get shoved in a box and expected to share a certain way or do things a certain way. This is where you really get to bring your passions and your gifts and the things that you love to share about, and the things that you're learning and are impactful to you, to really create your own business. And like Mackenzie said, your own brand, to really be able to connect to the people that you want to connect with and the people that you want to help and serve. So when you join our team, a lot of people have that fear of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never run a business. I barely post on social media. I just want to ensure you that when you join our team, we are a team that is full of incredible people that are more than happy to help you with anything. We have weekly team calls. We have company calls. We have resources. We have trainings. We have hands-on mentoring. So this is something where, yes, you have to do the work, but if you are willing and you are dedicated, that we have all of the resources that you need to learn how to be successful. And I know that was super helpful for me, that I wasn't just like signed up and thrown in to try and figure it out on my own, that you really have an incredible amount of leadership to lean into, of people that are going to teach you how to do what we do. So you might be wondering, how do we earn income as coaches? And I'm not going to go into a super deep description of this, but I'm just going to break down the few ways that we earn income. So when you get started as a coach, the first way that you earn income is commissions. So we make 25% or more off of every single order that someone places with you. So that's programs or products. That is the first way, is commissions. The second way is off residual income. So when you hit certain ranks in the company based on, you know, the customers you're helping and the coaches that you're getting started, you start to earn residual income off of the growth in your account from the people that you are helping. And then as you start to really grow your organization and grow your business and making an impact on lives, we have what we call a matching bonus. So our company rewards us for helping other people be successful. And I think that's such a cool part of what we do as coaches, is that you truly cannot be successful in this business unless you are truly committed to the mission of serving and helping and inspiring other people and helping them reach goals in their own lives. And our company rewards us for that. And then as you start to really grow your business and you climb ranks in the company, which means absolutely nothing to you right now, but you'll learn as you go, is that we have the opportunity to earn what we call star diamond bonuses. So certain ranks in the company, you have the opportunity to earn significant bonuses on a quarterly basis at any given rank in the company. But hopefully that gives you a little understanding of how we earn income as coaches. But for you, if you're starting out as a coach, the main way that you're going to be making income is off of commissions. This is not included in income, but this is a really incredible perk that I didn't even know was an opportunity when I started coaching. And I don't know if many do, but there are so many incredible opportunities to travel. And travel wasn't something that I really had intended to be a part of my life, because like I said, I was a newly single mom, and that was the last thing on my mind, was like how we were going to take vacations, right? So we have a trip that we can earn every single year as coaches, and it's as simple as being consistent with helping a certain amount of people every month. That kind of goes into this bucket of being able to earn what we call a Success Club trip. I have earned these every single year since I became a coach, and actually next month at the end of March, we're going to Punta Cana, and I'm taking my little guy with me. We've gone to Mexico in the past, to Riviera Maya, to Cancun, but they're all-inclusive, incredible like rewards trips that we get rewarded for just for being good at our jobs. And I don't know about you, but that's an incredible incentive on top of the rewarding, like, and fulfilling nature of what coaching is. But getting rewarded for your hard work and your success and being able to take your family on vacations, like, who doesn't want that? It's incredible, right? Some of the other trips that we have throughout the year, we have what we call a coach summit, which is probably my favorite event of the year. It is about typically like 25 to 30,000 of us that come together in one space, and you get to work out with our super trainers, get trainings from top coaches. We get to hear incredible speakers that are typically in the personal development field. So you may or may not know their names, but these are speakers that we would pay an exuberant amount of money to be able to see if you are going to see this in something outside of the coaching world. So to me, yeah, we got to see Rachel Hollis last year. I know Kendra Hall is one of our speakers this summer coming up in New Orleans. If you want to join us there. But just, it's such an incredible event that really makes this real. Like, I know when I went to my first summit, I was 4 months into coaching, and I just sat in this stadium full of people that were just on fire. They were inspired, they were motivated, they were energetic, and just this like healthy lifestyle, and just that infectious energy of feeling like you are a part of a mission so much greater than yourself than you could ever understand just sitting behind a computer screen like this. But it really makes it real. And you get to hear incredible success stories of, you know, the transformations that people have had, but also the coaches in the company that have built significant businesses. And it's just truly a life-changing event to get to. And then we have a few other trips that are able to be earned, like a new leadership conference and a leadership conference. And those are things that you really have the opportunity to earn as you grow in your business and grow in your leadership. So just know that there's plenty of opportunity to travel more, whether it's earning it or getting to events like this, to just immerse yourself in this incredible community that we're a part of. With that word, community, I want to talk a little bit more about the support and the community that we have as coaches. So if you're in a challenge group right now, or if you maybe haven't joined one yet, but you're intending to, you will notice that we just have such an incredible support system. And one of like the biggest components, if not the biggest component of coaching, I always tell people when they're interested in coaching, the first thing we're going to start with is you and your journey. What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to feel? Like, how are we going to change your personal life? Because that is our mission, to help people achieve healthier, more fulfilling lives, right? So it's really about, you're getting the accountability forevermore on your own journey. And I don't know about you guys, but I was not a consistent person in any aspect of my life when I joined this opportunity. Like, I was that girl that would go on a gym kick for 2 months and then something would happen, or I'd have a surgery and then I'd flop off and I'd beat myself up about it and I'd eat crap and, you know, start all over again, like drag myself back to like, I failed, let's do it again. So when you really commit to that journey of your own personal transformation, you create that self accountability, but you create a deeper level of accountability, because now you know you're in a position where you're starting to share and inspire and help other people. And it's like I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but sometimes it's easier to show up for people you care about. Like, more like it's easier to show up for them than it is to show up for you. And as you really lean into that, you become a more consistent person. And like, being consistent, learning to be consistent completely changes your life. It changes your health, your fitness, your mindset, your finances, your relationships. And it's just such an incredible part of what we do that a lot of people truly don't understand until you lean into it and you really experience going all in from start to finish on a program, a nutrition plan, drinking Shakeology, and leaning into the support of our community and that accountability. And then being able to pay that forward and provide that for other people. Because once you add that layer in as a coach and you're getting messages from people about how this group is changing their life, about how they're finally confident enough to be in pictures with their kids, how it's improved their marriage, how they're stepping up and, you know, taking more opportunities at work. It's just incredible, like, to know the impact that you can create on others just because you had the courage to step into that accountability and that transformation and lead from the front and be the example first. And it's just a game changer. It's a total game changer, and it holds you accountable to your journey forevermore, which, who doesn't want to be healthy for the rest of their life, right? And who doesn't need accountability to that? So that's a little bit about the community and support and the fulfillment component of coaching. Now, we do get asked a lot, like, do you have to hit certain quotas? Can you do this part-time? How do you work towards full-time? All that stuff. Like I mentioned, we have a ton of resources once you join our team. We have weekly mentoring calls. We have all kinds of resources, right? So you really get to decide what you want to make this business for yourself. If you have a half an hour a day to work it, you can do that. If you have 2 hours a day that you want to plug in and you want to work it like that, you can do that. We have so many coaches on our team that work full-time jobs or part-time jobs, or are busy stay-at-home moms that have incredibly busy schedules, but they know why they're doing this, so they make time. And that's the biggest thing to understand with coaching, is that just like anything else you're going to add into your life, like getting a workout in or signing your kid up for, you know, soccer, like, it's a commitment of your time, right? And when you commit to this, you figure out a way to make that work for your life and build your business in the power pockets, whether it's 15 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes on your lunch break and a half an hour once the kids go to bed at night. I know for me, when I started, I built my business late night after my baby went to bed, and I built it in the nap time hustles when he slept. And as he's grown up, my schedule has changed and I am now full-time and he's in school. But know that this is possible for you no matter how busy your life is, if you are truly committed to why you are here to build a business and what you want to do with this, and committed to serving the purpose that we serve as coaches. I mentioned a little bit about the personal growth component and consistency and how that changes your life, but something that we don't often mention as coaches is that personal development is something that we do every single day. We invest in ourselves, we invest in our mindset, we invest in our growth and our leadership skills. And like I said about the whole consistency factor, that to me is something that completely changes everything in your life, because you start to think differently. You start to think bigger. You start to overcome things easier. You're more resilient. Like, you care less about judgment. You overcome fears more easily. And that personal development factor, if you're somebody that, like, you want to be a certain way in your life that you're not right now, know that coaching is an incredible opportunity for you to really design who you are and design how you live your life in so many different ways. So moving on, I want to cover a few of the myths or misconceptions that you might have about what we do as coaches, because if you're anything like most of us, you probably have them. You have judgments, you have fears, things that you think this is or think it's not. And hopefully I will cover a few of those. And if you have one that I don't cover, you can pop it in the comments and I'll be sure to address it. But one of the most common objections or myths that we get is that you have to be at your goal weight to start coaching, and that it could not be farther from the truth. I was personally not at my goal weight or at my goal body when I started coaching. And what I always tell people is that you have an incredible opportunity when you start not at your goal. The reason is that when you say start coaching after you've had a transformation, right? And you post that pretty little picture on social media with a before photo and an after photo and said, hey, I committed to this 30-minute workout and this nutrition plan and drinking Shakeology, and I've lost 20 pounds and my energy is amazing and I feel awesome and who wants to do this with me? People miss the most important part of your story, and that is following the journey of how you got there. Because coaching is not about being a fitness expert. It's not about being a nutritionist. You don't have to have certifications, although we do offer some if you want them. But this is really about being a real human and sharing the ups and downs of your journey, the ins and outs, the how you're not hitting the snooze button anymore, the how you're avoiding going for that caramel frappuccino every single afternoon that's been your habit for the last 3 years. Overcoming the real deal things that people deal with and the adversities they face when they're wanting to make changes in their health, fitness, nutrition, mindset, self-love. You get to be the example in the flesh every single day, showing up, being consistent, being dedicated, and being the example of what's possible for people. And that is what people relate to. They don't relate to perfection. They don't relate to an after photo because that's not where they're at, right? So you have an incredible opportunity if you are not at your goal weight or you are not at the end of your transformation or you haven't even done a program start to finish. You have an incredible opportunity right now to connect with people just like you who want to join you on that journey, and then you can do it together. One of the misconceptions I had when I was starting was that I live in a really small town. I rarely ever posted on social media. I maybe had a couple of Facebook friends, like a couple hundred Facebook friends, and I was like, I have no idea how to talk to people, and I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be that person that everybody like sees at a family function and they run away because they don't want to be attacked by you and what you have to sell, right? Coaching is not about selling if you're doing it right. Yes, you are helping people get started with a program and product. So in that aspect, yes, you are selling them something, but you are offering people an experience and you are offering people your time and your value as a coach, right? You are giving people an opportunity to truly change the trajectory of their health and or their life. And so this is more about sharing your story. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you make this your own. You share what you want to share to impact people that you want to connect with. And it's more about being the example of what's possible by doing it yourself. It's not just, hey, want to join me for the shake that I don't even drink myself, or hey, want to follow a nutrition plan that I don't actually follow myself. This is you really leaning into that accountability and being that example, and then helping other people learn how to do it with you, right? And for me personally, I was, like I said, I was so intimidated because I hardly ever shared on social media. I didn't really ever reach out to people. But once I started making those connections and building relationships and seeing how many people needed my help, it became so much fun to learn how to network and connect on social media and make an impact on the people that are already in your circle. And it doesn't have to feel weird, icky, or salesy if you're doing it right. No time, we kind of talked about that a little bit, is that we have tons of coaches that work full-time, are busy stay-at-home moms, single moms like me, that make this work. It just comes down to, are you willing to do the work, and are you willing to make time for that in your schedule and in your life? Because if you are, then we can teach you what to do in those pockets to be most effective to really grow your business. So it's not about that you don't have time, it's about finding time, and really looking over your day and saying, these are the things that you're committed to and that are priorities for you, and what gets to go. For me, I had to cut out watching 2 hours of Netflix at night. Like, there were just little things in my day where I thought, I don't really have a ton of time, but it was just that I wasn't using my time properly to get me anywhere different than where I was. And once I was willing to make those little sacrifices to make the time, then everything changed. Another one that comes up is you're worried about fear and you're worried about judgment. You're worried about what's going to happen when you start sharing your journey. What's your mom going to think? What's your best friend going to think? What's that long lost cousin on Facebook going to think about you when you start sharing this? And what I will say to that, what it came down to for me personally, was, do I value the opinions of others more than I value how I want to change my life and the impact I want to make? Because I was so fiercely committed to what I wanted to do once I realized I joined an opportunity like this, and I could not only impact other people, but I could completely change the trajectory of my life and my son's life. It gave me that, like, almost a little bit more of a bulletproof to, like, put myself out there and not give a shit, what people think. Because we can either go through our entire lives living in this perfect little protected bubble of, we don't want people to judge us, we don't want people to fear us, right? Or we can step out of that and be like, this is something I'm really excited about, and I don't need their validation to follow the course that I feel called to follow, and do something I'm excited about and do something I'm passionate about. You don't need permission from anyone to start a business as a coach. You just need to be committed to why you're doing it, and you're gonna build the courage step by step along the way with each post you make, each person you talk to. You know, every message of someone that inspired you is gonna build that confidence muscle. And over time, you just don't really care anymore because you're excited about it and you know what it can do for people and you know what you're offering, and you just don't really care anymore what people think about it, right? But that's something that you don't ever get to that point if you don't take the first step and really lean into learning how to do that along the way. And like I said, strengthening your confidence as you go, because a lot of us had that fear in the beginning. And I'll be quite honest, sometimes we still have that fear. It doesn't necessarily ever completely go away. I still get nervous about speaking on business opportunity webinars like this. Am I going to say the right thing? Is it going to help people? But I know what I'm offering, and I know the value that we have to share as coaches. And that's why I show up and do it, because it's incredible and it's changed your lives. I already asked you this, but I'm going to kind of bring it full circle now after we've talked about all these things. But with this opportunity, you truly have, and I always say this, but you have the opportunity to completely change the trajectory of your life. Whether you've had a life full of trauma and struggle like I did, or whether it's been pretty easy for you up until this point. A wise leader once said to me when I was a new coach that there are two things that really drive you, and that's either inspiration or that's desperation. And in my case, when I started, it was definitely desperation. And these days it's way more about inspiration. But thinking about where, if you ideally could design your life, how you feel on a daily basis, your health, your energy levels, your confidence, you know, your ability to be present in your marriage and with your kids, financially, maybe it's paying off debt or buying a dream home or having more opportunity to travel with your family. Like, really thinking ideally where you could be in 1 year or 5 years from now if you said yes and you actually committed to showing up and leaning into this opportunity, thinking about how drastically different your life could be. Because when I did that, it was like this fire was lit in my soul, and I was never turning back on it, because I saw life through a new set of eyes for the first time when I stepped into this opportunity. So I hope that that was helpful to someone. I hope that it explained a little bit more about what we do as coaches. And I'm just going to encourage you to reach out to the coach that added you to this webinar if you have questions, if you want to know a little bit more about their personal story, or you have apprehensions or fears that I didn't cover that you want them to cover for you, they'd be more than glad to. But hopefully this inspired you to really think about what coaching could do for your life, and that you get to make this your own and make it what you want it to be. And hopefully we'll see you in the team page in the future. I can't wait to see who takes the leap and dives all in with us. So have a great night, guys. See you later.